What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Custom Night Vision, and right now we're somewhere in Vietnam. We thought it'd be a good time to put a quick video together. We're trying to get out of here and get into Cambodia. I think there's people following us, but I don't know how to read this. I just know we're in Vietnam. Anyway, today we're going to talk about rifle setups. We get a lot of questions from people, complaining about the price of night vision. And a lot of those people have 37 poverty ponies at home. So I'm gonna make some recommendations on maybe how you can free up some funds to possibly afford night vision. Instead of having 30 rifles at home that aren't kind of outfitted for specific roles, we suggest buying 1 or 2 or 3 rifles that kind of fit different needs. On the table, I've got 4 different examples of my personal setups, and they're all, with the exception of these 2, vastly different. The first one on the table is, this is a 10.5-inch carbine, if you will, chambered in 5.56. I mean, I've had this rifle for longer than any of the other rifles. It does everything I need it to do from 0 to 300 yards. It's really kind of catered to CQB and short range kinds of shooting. But it runs good. There are a lot of drawbacks with 10.5s. Typically, they're all overgassed. You're not getting a lot of muzzle velocity, or you're getting, what I would consider the minimum acceptable amount of muzzle velocity for 5.56. But it's very mobile. It's handy. It feels good to shoot. With a suppressor on it, it's not overly long or unwieldy. The next rifle on the table is, the setup is very similar as far as optics and lasers and whatnot, but this is an 11.5-inch rifle. And believe it or not, the increase in muzzle velocity from 10.5-inch to 11.5-inch barrels is significant. This rifle also shoots a lot smoother, flatter, because of the increased dwell time. It's just overall a better package. Again, set up the same way, aim point, magnifier, IR laser, white light. I think these are, if you're gonna run night vision, you need a good white light, you need an IR laser. Red dot or holographic optic is optimal, just for the added ability to shoot passively. Both of these, I go back and forth between them. They're both great rifles for doing really anything I need them to do out to about 500 meters. The next rifle on the table is a 16-inch rifle. This is a more intermediate range, precision based. It's got a EOTech 1 to 10 on the top that I've been shooting for a while, kind of evaluating. I really like this optic for the price, but I still do have an offset red dot on here. So, depending on what kind of application I'm throwing this into, I can have this optic dialed all the way up to 10 or somewhere in between 5, 6x. And if I need to take a shot at something a little closer, all I do is roll the gun to the side, pick up this offset red dot, and I zero these at 25 or 50 meters, just whatever's handy really. Fills both roles. So I've made shots with this particular rifle out to 7 and change easily with 77 grain. It makes it really easy, and it's not overly unwieldy. So don't discredit the 16-inch offerings. I know they're all over the place, and it seems kind of corny to go get a 16-inch gun, but they do serve a purpose. They have a very good place in your armory, especially if you don't intend on running a suppressor. 16-inch barrel is just, it's sweet. You're getting really good muzzle velocity, and it's still, I think they found us. With the 16-inch barrel, you're still getting really good muzzle velocity, and it's still very portable. You can get in and out of vehicles with it. I mean, if you got to do CQB, you can do it with this rifle. At any rate, these are 3 different kind of configurations for a 5.56 rifle that I would recommend. I mean, really, you could get away with, 2 of them. You have a 0 to 300 yard gun, and then you have a 0 to 7, depending on how good a shooter you are, 800 yards with good ammo and a really high quality barrel in the 16-inch configuration. The last rifle I have on the table kind of fills a special role for me. I use this mostly for hunting. It's outfitted with a thermal. This is a Envision Nox 35. This is one of the best thermals, in my opinion, that you can buy, especially in this size format or configuration. Yeah, there's no hiding at night with an Envision. If it has a heat signature, this thing's gonna pick it up. It's amazing. Like I said, it's a 10-inch 300 blackout, 1 in 7 twist barrel. So a lot of people recommend the 1 in 5, and I feel like that kind of caters specifically to shooting subsonics. 300 blackout was designed to shoot subsonics, subsonic loads, so it's very quiet with a suppressor on it. But it also works very well with supersonics. So the big advantage to 300 blackout over 5.56 is obviously a heavier grain projectile. And what this is going to provide you is, regardless of the muzzle velocity, you're going to have more kinetic energy delivered on target. That's why I use this to hunt. It knocks animals down a little bit better. Some would say more humanely. Whether I'm using a subsonic or supersonic load, it really just gives me more flexibility than a 5.56, especially a short barrel 5.56. I can take shots with this gun with confidence out to 300 yards with a supersonic projectile out of a 10-inch barrel and know that, I mean, anything under 200 pounds, it's gonna go down. You know, you don't need a big long barrel to get all the performance out of it. That's kind of one of the cool things about it. You know, if you want to get away from 5.56, you want something with a little bit more knockdown power, 300 blackout's a great option. All right, guys, we're gonna hurry up and close this out because the VC is getting close and it's really hot, and I gotta pack all this stuff up before they get here. So essentially what we've covered is don't go buy a bunch of guns with no specific purpose. Buy 1 or 2 really good ones that fit your needs well, and use the rest of that money to go buy night vision. Train with it. It's a superpower. It's gonna add to your capability. We really appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe. We gotta get out of here because they're, oh my God. Okay, all right. I'll see y'all later.